What is up, guys? Welcome back to Cozy Talks. I'm Joe.
I'm Zahayas.
Today we're going to be talking about UFC Vegas 109, talk about what went right, what went wrong with our picks, and at the end we'll talk about our record. Overall, it was a pretty okay night. Um, you know, I picked the right fighters, just had wrong props, but we'll get into that. So here we go. First fight of the night, we got Cody Brundage versus Eric McConico. Eric McConico won a split decision. As you can see, the scorecards kind of had all over the place. They had a 29-28 for Brundage, a 30-27, or no, 29-28 for McConico, 29-28 for McConico, and a 30-27 for Brundage. So I think
Yeah,
it was just a little all over the place. The
the
30-27
most.
for Brundage, I don't agree with. You can make an argument for McConico on a 29-28. Round two was clearly Brundage, but the judges saw it different. These two did. So, yeah, my pick here was Brundage money line. So I was wrong there.
Yeah, I had talked about this fight being real gritty and it being kind of like a bar fight, especially these dudes coming off the couch, real short notice fight. But McConaughey ended up taking it by decision, called that. But at the end of it, though, I would argue that Cody Brundage should have won that fight. The scorecards, like you were saying, they're all over the place. But I think it was real base judging though, because Torres Finney versus Robert Valentine, when they fought in the Apex, Torres Finney had pretty much like 13 minutes of control time in a three-round fight, and one of the judges gave 30-27 to Robert Valentine.
Yeah.
So I think some of these judges are just real sick and tired of seeing fighters just kind of hug and pray,
Hmm.
without advancing position or throwing strikes. So like I said, I don't like Cody Brundage. So
Yeah, who knows what they're going to do with him after this, man? I mean,
yep,
he's got a pretty rough record. He's kind of had a weird spot in the UFC. He's had some weird wins, and he's kind of been more of a thorn on the side for the UFC than anything, to be honest. Moving on. Next fight was Gabriela Fernandez versus Yulia Stoliarenko. This I felt like should have been a pretty clear win for Fernandez. Inside the distance. She did
I agree.
she did beat up the face of Stoliarenko, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't the prettiest fight. It was a pretty boring fight, to be honest. But Fernandez got it done. I was wrong here as well. I had Fernandez, but I had inside the distance, and it went to a decision. It was unanimous Fernandez.
Yeah, I thought Gabby Fernandez was going to get it done, inside the distance as well. So
Yeah, yeah. I think whether or not Stoliarenko stays in the UFC, I think I'd be surprised if they kept her. I mean, that kind of record, I feel like she's probably on her way out. She did have trouble making weight in that fight, but moving on. Uros Medic versus Urbina. I had over 1.5 rounds in this. What did you have again, Z? You had
I
Urbina
just I
money
just
line, or
I
you
no,
had
I had this fight not starting round three. I did call out the fact that Urbina by knockout is really up there. I believe it was like plus 1100,
yeah,
and I mean Urbina came out quick. He came out real quick and almost got it done.
yep,
Uh, but but Euros Medic, he overcame that adversity and he turned it around and knocked out Urbina.
yeah.
But I mean, I just had this fight not starting round three.
Yeah, it was pretty cut and dry. It was pretty quick. Yeah, not much to say there. Moving on, we had Yoslin Edwards versus Zombie Girl Cachoeira. I had Edwards money line.
Yep.
Uh,
I had Edwards money line
yeah,
as well.
and yeah, this was a good showcase for Edwards to show off her striking, and she got the knockout win. I mean, Cachoeira, she kind of stuck her head out there and let Edwards beat on it, and got put away for it.
Yeah, I I
Yeah,
I was a little hesitant on putting Edwards in within the distance, but the Edwards knockout was plus 500 the
yeah,
odds before the fight. So if you had happened to snipe that, Good for you.
Good job. This is a fight that definitely sets Edwards up for a top 15, 100%. You know,
100%.
yeah, I think she has a good chance to get on a title run here, or at least break into the top five.
She's still young. I mean, she's only 29. So,
Yeah. Next fight. This was the highlight reel. This is probably performance of the night. I didn't see where the awards ended up going, but Elijah Smith got the KO win. That was my pick for this fight.
brutal fashion.
Yeah,
Brutal
good old
fashion.
rampage slam, man. I mean, Kazama needed to just let go of that triangle choke, and he paid for it
Yeah, he paid
with
for it real
with
bad.
with
I
his
had,
life, or what it looked like.
yeah,
He looked like he
I thought
died.
Kazama died. I had
Uh,
Kazama money line here, but like you were saying in the previous video, Elijah Smith was just he was so technical.
yeah,
Kazama was trying to wrap him up in whatever he possibly could get, and Elijah Smith would just he'd get out of it and throw any type of strikes he could possibly land.
yeah,
And I believe Elijah Smith, after seeing Kazama's just gonna eat all these punches I'm throwing at him, and he's just gonna try to wrap me up. I'm just gonna pick Buddy up and just slam him right on his neck.
yep,
So that was insane to see.
yeah,
But my pick there was Kazama,
yeah. Elijah Smith was eating his Wheaties that night. That's for sure.
100%.
Moving on, we got Julius Juicebox versus Cerquera. This was a very disappointing fight. I'm gonna be very blunt. You know, when you look at the sports books and you see fight does not go the distance at a price of minus 1100, you think you're gonna get a freaking highlight reel knockout on either side of this, and both these guys are very
So,
much capable of that.
so to put that in perspective for some people, you would technically need to bet over $2,200 in order to get some type of, some like a better profit. Like, uh, if you put $2,200 on a minus $1,100 pick, you'd pretty much just be doubling your money.
Yeah, it's
And you
priced
wouldn't
that way
even
for a reason.
you wouldn't even be doubling your money. You'd be winning half your money. So, like I was saying in the last video, this was real disappointing to see. I mean, both these dudes are finished. Like, they talk about their knockout power. They talk about,
Yeah,
these dudes are either finished or be finished. And Julius Walker, I feel like he was just being a little bit more cautious and just didn't want to get knocked out.
yeah,
But I believe if Walker had just had more confidence in his stand-up game, he probably would have found the finish, real early on. But
yeah. Bite down on that mouthpiece, man. He's young. He's 26.
yeah,
He's already been in a dogfight with Menefield in Seattle. We saw that one live, and he was in a position. I mean, shit. He had almost 12 minutes of control time in a 15 minute bout. But he just couldn't get the finish. The one thing I want to highlight here is the 30-26. I don't believe there's any round where Walker had a 10-8. There was not a lot of damage inflicted, so I think that scorecard was kind of wild. I mean, I would almost even say 29-28 for Walker, but 30-27s across the board. I don't mind either. I think he was clearly in control here. Moving on to the main card, we had Chris Dunk. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. We didn't talk about her pick. I had Walker TKO.
oh yeah, that's right. I had Sequoia KO.
Yeah, it's this one. I had CLD by decision. I did talk about taking a Duncan KO though. So I just took the wrong prop there. Spoon fed you guys some garbage.
Yeah, I took CLD KO. I just
Yeah,
I just had a feeling, talking about, these dudes, these unks, 38 years old. I just can't see another unk coming out on
yeah.
top like that. So
It's just
especially against a dude like CLD,
yeah.
he's young, he's not young, but he's in his prime, you know, real contender for like a top 15.
Oh yeah,
Um, I thought CLD should have had to get it done in
yeah,
some type of
yeah.
finish fashion.
Yeah, they talked about getting a lot of tape study on Anders in the post fight talk, and I talked about Anders' durability. He got caught with that crazy spinning elbow, and I think he was just that was just that. I mean, they did talk about Anders. He kind of is already on his way out. He opened up his own gym. He's getting kind of set up for post-fighting career. So, you know, whether or not this was his last fight, you know, he's kind of set up for whatever's going on in the future. Moving on, we had another great fight. This was a back and forth war, man. Gene Matsumoto by decision was my pick in this one.
Yep, same here. I had Matsumoto winning by decision here as well.
Yeah. This one was pretty crazy. I think a split is pretty on the spot. 29-28 either way. But I think it should have been unanimous. 29-28. I think Gene kind of picked it up in the second and then took over in the third for sure. Miles Johns I think for sure won the first. And yeah, I mean
Miles Johns came out hot.
yeah.
Came out real hot.
And Gene just, you know, he just coasted the whole way. You know, he had his pace, and Johns, you know, he started hot, but then he just died down. You know,
Trying to keep up.
yeah, he was
Trying to keep up.
yeah, he was getting worn down. His leg was getting beat up. Yeah, Gene just took over, and
Yeah, that's another thing to point out as well, is that Gene was breaking him down with the leg kicks, and not only the leg kicks but the body kicks. Some of
oh
those
yeah,
body kicks that he was throwing sounded like a bat to a body bag.
oh yeah,
That was
man.
insane.
Yeah, yeah. No, Gene definitely bounced back in the right kind of fashion, beating out another guy with a good record. I think good things are in the future for Gene here. So yeah, moving on. Andre Philly versus Christian Rodriguez. I had Christian Rodriguez money line. You sniped a plus 200 dog here, Mr. Z.
Yep. Honestly, I wanted to talk about that too. Like Philly was probably the dog of the week.
Yeah.
I had Philly money line here, and I just had a feeling, after
Mhm.
seeing his loss in Seattle, after that he talked about how disappointed he was, in his performance. He apologized to his fans, and especially just having a kid, I
Yeah.
believe he had a lot riding on this fight, and he had something to prove. So
Yeah.
I went with Andre Philly money line.
Yes, you know, I didn't realize how freaking small C-Rod was until the weigh-in show. After I already made the pick, I was like, man, he's a tiny guy going into this fight. Andre Philly looks pretty big, uh, and yeah, you know, Andre Philly just had the jab working for him, and you know, I think if C-Rod could have landed, you know, I don't even know if he could have landed any more flush on some of those headshots he took, but you know, Andre Philly gets it done.
And then, yeah, that's another thing too. If C-Rod was a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, he most definitely could have put Andre Philly away. He landed some good shots on Philly during their fight,
Yeah,
but towards the end of the fight, Philly just bitched him, bro.
he did.
Picked
Yeah.
him up like twice,
Oh
and then
yeah,
just slammed
yeah,
him.
he had that big ass slam. Yep. Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Yasmin Lucindo versus Angela Hill. This was just Lucindo. I mean, anywhere the fight went, Lucindo just had the upper hand. And you know, she talked about before this fight went on how she wanted to knock out Angela Hill, and Angela Hill. I mean, she just has a chin on her. I mean, there's a reason she's
Yeah,
never
man.
been finished in her career by KO, and you know, she
Yeah,
dogged her out.
that was most definitely a dog fight. But Lucindo she's the real deal for sure.
Yeah, at
She's
only 23 years old, man.
Yep, only 23 years old, and taking on these girls who have been around for so long,
Hmm.
and just showing out in like dominating fashion.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, who knows what's next for Lucindo? I think she's ready to take on the top 15, top 10. You know, girls who get wins, and you know, even though she didn't get the finish, like I said, she clearly had the upper hand anywhere the fight was, and just dominated. You know, you're doing a lot for yourself as far as your trajectory goes in the UFC. My pick here, I talked about on the show. I had Lucindo by decision.
Yep, I had the Lucindo decision as well.
Yep. Moving on, Steve Astrobite Urseg versus Ode. This was a scary fight, man. I mean,
Ode was so fucking fast, bro. He was so fast.
yeah,
And it's crazy because I talked about Steve Erceg by some mystic right hand
that
counter,
he almost got hit with
that
his.
right hook counter.
He almost got hit with that
But
instead.
But Usyk got dropped with a right hook counter, and what it was, I believe it was the first
It was in the
round.
first round. Got caught on the
Ode
back of
caught
his
him.
ear. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was real scary to watch. I mean, Ode coming off of coming off a short notice, and stepping up and taking Steve Usyk. Ode looked insane.
Yeah.
He looked real good. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know if this fight says more about Ode or if it says, or if it
yeah,
says more about Steve,
that's what I'm
because
saying as well.
yeah, because we're trying to get Steve, back into the top five. He's ranked top 10. This fight was taken at bantamweight. These guys are flyweights. Uh, it was definitely supposed to be a layup. I felt like for Steve, and it ended up being a scary decision here. It was unanimous,
Yeah,
but I think Steve needs needs to hone in a little bit. I mean I think he fights Osio Mabayev next. I think both those guys were coming off of a loss and then got their win. And I think they both need to see who's moving forward in a fight like that. Ode, I think they keep Ode around. I mean, he clearly looks good. It was just a tough loss, and I guess a tough guy like Astro Boy. My pick in this one, I had Steve Urseg inside the distance. Clearly was wrong there.
me as well. I thought Usyk was gonna pull off the KO.
Yeah, yeah. Even in the grappling, I mean, Urseg almost even got the choke, but
Yeah,
just couldn't get it done. It happens. Last fight's the main event. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe on this video. We're still trying to grow this channel. We're still in the early goings. Uh, Anything you guys can do to help show us that what we're doing is worth it, and let us know what you like so far in these videos. We'd really appreciate it. So yeah, we had Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. It was sparring partner versus Fluffy. It really it was just our call was very, very wrong. I had Roman Dolidze money line, and
I had Roman Dolidze money line as well, and I had possibly winning this fight within the distance.
dude,
Fluffy just turned up the heat, man. He just, he really just turned up the heat.
I mean, look at that, dude. Fuck.
You could see it. You could see it in the fight too, where Fluffy's just like, "Fuck this, bro," and just starts chirping. He just starts chirping to Roman Dolidze. Even tells Dolidze, stand right here. Let's do this. They start swinging, and I feel like after that, Roman Dolidze just couldn't keep up, and Hernandez just started to just drown Dolidze, and towards the end of the fight, really just started to pour it on him.
Yeah,
Dolidze could not survive that at all. No matter where Dolidze went on the ground, Fluffy was there.
yeah.
He was there to put him back in his same position. Fluffy advances the submission, pulls off the
Lets
submission,
him up.
lets him up, gets on top of him again, beats him up, forces a submission, gets back. He was just drowning Dolidze that fight, and
Yeah.
that was really insane to see.
What do you think's next for him? You think he's getting that RDR matchup?
I would like to see that RDR matchup with
Yeah.
Hernandez. I think that's a solid matchup. Um, I think he gets whoever wins that fight, RDR or Hernandez. I think they should possibly get the loser of Imavov and Kyle Barallo,
Yeah.
because
That's a good
whoever
one.
wins that fight will go on to fight the winner of Hamza and DDP.
Yeah. And it was crazy because with this rear naked choke, Fluffy didn't even have any hooks in or nothing. He just dragged him away from the fence.
He just bitched them, bro.
Delize just wanted
Bitched
a way
'em.
out at that point. I mean, all you're doing is getting dragged by your neck, and you just didn't want to be in there anymore. You took the quitters. Not really a quitter, but I mean, it was just you were clearly
Yeah,
outmatched in any sort of way in this fight, and it just showed.
I wouldn't necessarily say Delize had quit, but he was just getting bitched.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I had Roman Dolidze money line, and so let's get
For
into
total.
the totals here. So I went a pretty messy 4-8. I welcome the chirps. I would have been 8-4 if I took the fights, but I took my shots on some of these props, and you live and die by that. Z, you went 7-5. You'd had a lot better night than I did as far
Yeah,
as your picks went.
sometimes you just you gotta play these odds, or you gotta play these picks right, and just
Yeah,
match them up right.
yeah,
But yeah, most of my picks were right, but I just didn't match them up together. So then that's the unfortunate part too, is that you see something that's real juicy, and you're just like, ooh, maybe I want to throw that on there as well, get a little bit more change, but it is what it is, though. Like you were saying, we live by the sword, we die
yeah,
by it. So
yeah. So that's gonna be the end of the recap, guys. Get your notifications on, because up next on Tuesday we're gonna be dropping a video on this masterpiece here. 319. That's not popping up. That's